gift through His word. It's God's gift through His word. It's God's gift through His word. It's God's gift through His word.
All right. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's having a great day or had a great day thus far. I'm recording a little bit late. It is 9:48 my time, but I want to get on here and share some things with you guys because that's what I do, right? And so I'm on here and it's dark with the light. Okay, I'll be putting on some bright light later and then turning it down. But right now, just a little soft light right now, a little blue, a little purple, a little lavender, something nice just to be calm and soothing, I guess. All that bright light, sometimes like, ah. But I wanted to share that there's a couple of things that I'm doing. First of all, welcome. If you don't know me, you're brand new to me. My name is T. Drake, podcasting godmother of connection, and I am here to encourage, inspire, and uplift you. And so if you've never heard of me, that's okay. Welcome to this channel. Welcome to this page. Welcome to this time with me. I'm hoping that you hear something that will encourage you, uplift your spirit, and make you feel like, man, I can do some things for the Lord. I could do some things in my life. I hope that you take something away, some kind of encouragement that boosts you up, perks you up, make you like, oh, I can do this. I can run for the Lord. So as I'm sharing, I was like, okay, what am I going to share about tonight? And it's like all these things I wanted to share, but it's like I only want to share a certain amount of things because I got a lot going on, but I'll always share the most pertinent things. So right there in this corner over here where my hand goes out, right? But if you can see over to the right, there's a little blurb of me that says Super Mom. And I've entered into that particular competition against a lot of moms in the United States. And there's a lot of moms that are super moms just doing it, working hard, doing all the things for their families. And I entered into that. So voting for that opens April 7th. So I would definitely appreciate a vote. If you would like to vote for me, you can definitely go over there. There is in the description box a link, and it's going to tell you where to go, whether you're a voter, whether you're in the competition, and you could go there and go ahead and vote. So I hope that you will. And if you've heard my story about the things that I've done over the years and since 2018 that I've been podcasting, I've kind of shared a little bit about my life, about what I do with my kids. And if you don't know, I am a single mother. I have 4 amazing kids, 2 that have special needs. One has autism and the other one has intellectual disorder. And then I have my other 2 children, my eldest ones, and they don't have any special needs or challenges. But dealing with that, I also overcame domestic violence, which was a feat in itself and very, very hard to get over. It wasn't easy. And it took me a very long time to get out of it. But by the grace of God, He helped me and I was able to come out. And here I am to live to tell the tale about that and encourage other people that no matter what the darkest moments that you have and you go through in life, that the Lord will be there to pull you out. So that's one of a part of my story along with children. And then another part is I am also a volunteer for many, many organizations, a couple organizations in California I still volunteer with, a lot of organizations here where I live in Arizona, I volunteer with. Hey, Sister Nicole, good to see you again. So I volunteer all over the place. So I will run off some. For California, I'm a Rainbow Services advocate with them. The Domestic Violence Allyship, I'm part of them. And here in Arizona, Raising Special Kids, I'm a volunteer parent leader. I teach at Hope Women's Center for Mending the Soul, volunteer at my church doing Hope Mending the Soul, not Hope Women's Center, but Mending the Soul as well, the 12-week program. And then today I just finished up on Fridays. I go do it every Friday, and we finished up a 6-week program for Hope Women's Center that was created specifically for them. So we just completed that. And then I have 2, well, one more week because I do this week and then another week, and then that one will be totally finished and completed. So as I've been sharing all this stuff, I've shared a lot of my story and a lot of different parts of my story. And some people don't get to hear my story. They don't know any of it. So when you get this book right here behind me, God's Gift to His Word. No, that's not it. That's my podcast. The Gift of Finding God's Love, Guilty Shape Turned into My Shine. That's the name of the book. I get the podcast and that because the titles are kind of similar. And plus the podcast came out of the book. So of course. So God's Gift to His Word is my podcast. The Gift of Find God's Love, Guilty Shame Turned into My Shine is the book where the podcast came from. So when I share in the book, I'm only sharing about my domestic violence. So that's not all the story, but that's a portion of it. And so I share that in this book. So as I continue, I'm still working on my second book. It's taking a little longer than I want because I got like all these different, I've always had my hands in different buckets. So I got some other things going on and I got an event I'm planning for in October. So I'm working on getting that developed, getting that rocking and rolling. So as I continue, I am just going to be doing it. I'm going to be doing the thing. I'm just pushing out. So as I entered into the Supermom, I was like, I don't know if I would be winning against all the other moms in the United States because there's amazing women doing just like me and they're rocking it and they're doing it for their families. So my prayer is even if it doesn't happen, that there be something, some way that this will be helpful for someone else. And maybe you want to enter and you can enter now if you still want to enter to try to win as well. So it doesn't mean any mother that doesn't win is less of a mom. No, but I mean they give an opportunity for one person to win. So it's pretty high competition, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the Lord does. And for me, I'm just gonna continue to do what I do. So that right there, we see the little super mom, that's me. And of course, right behind my face, which I'll turn me off for a minute, is right here. You can see that there is a book signing coming up when April 6th. So April 7th, the Supermom voting opens the day right after the book signing. So that's it. You too. Have a good night. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate you. So anytime I get on and I share, I just want you guys to know, kind of keeping updates of the things that I'm doing because you got to stay on your path because all these things that are going on with you or even with me, don't let people come into your life and throw you off because they can and they will try. They will try with all their might because they don't like what you're doing. But you have to know that the Lord has put you on a certain path and you got to go for it. You got to go with gusto because we only have one life and we only get one go around at this. And after that, that's it. And then you go home to glory. If you're a believer, go on home. So being scared and being afraid and not being willing to share what the Lord has placed in your heart, it's not good, right? We want to do that. We want to make sure that we're sharing and being authentic, being your just natural self. However you are, just be that. Don't let anybody take you off of your stuff. Don't let anybody pop you off your square. Just stick where you're at and do what it is that you feel that you've been called to do. Remember, what God lays on your heart is what He wants you to do, not you running after your own things and your own ambitions. Sometimes, yes, we have those goals and things we want to do, but at the end of everything, it's what God's will is for your life, not always necessarily what you want and how He's going to maneuver and how He's going to do things. You still need to know that He's in control over everything. It doesn't matter that you're facing all these different trials and things. God is a really amazing God that He knows what's going on. He's not oblivious, like, why in the world would this happen? Why is this thing just all so much incidences is happening? There's nothing that escapes God. Nothing. Not the bad, nor the good, nor the indifferent. Nothing escapes God. And when we think, oh, these people have gotten away with X or they've gotten away with this, that's not true because God will take care when He wants to. One thing we got to remember is everything happens on God's time, not ours. So remember that. Remember, it is God's timing and His timing alone that you need to focus on what He is doing in your life. And can you not see His hand upon your life? I hope you can. I know I can see it on mine. And for a long time, I used to think, man, whenever God does something, it's very apparent. He's very active in my life. I can see it. I can see it even now. So I'm just grateful for the Lord and Him blessing me all different kinds of ways with new people in my life, new friendships, and strengthening old friendships, renewing those, building them up, shoring them up. I love that. And I'm so grateful for every single friend that I have because friends are a blessing. They're a gift. And sometimes when people don't have friends, they're missing out on some gifts. Now, I'm not saying that without a friend you can't do things. No. But I realize to me that when the Lord places people in my life and they've been there for a while, man, love on them. Treat them right because they may not always be around. And sometimes it comes to the point where if you've treated them horribly, the Lord would just remove them out of your life and put them somewhere else. Put them somewhere else's life, just you will never have access to them again. So for me, I try to treat all my friends very good, very well, take care and love on them and treat them kind because those are my friends. And that's what I want to do. You want to love on your friends, you want to treat them right. So this came up to me when I was thinking about what I wanted to share tonight because I think it goes kind of piggyback off of the one I did the other day, which was talking about people watching you. And I was seeing a whole bunch of Christian YouTubers kind of in the same vein. I was like, wow, it seems like there's a lot of people in the digital cyber bushes watching folk. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that something? And it doesn't matter that you're putting out good stuff. It doesn't matter what it is that you're sharing of inspiration. There will always be some people that believe what you're doing is not worth anything to them. But then there's another set that's like, you know what? Thank you. Thank you for sharing because I need to hear that. So we're going to switch gears because I just wanted to come in nice and gentle with the light. And now we're going to turn on some light. So hang on. It's going to get dark and it's going to get bright in a minute if I figure out where's my light. Just first of all, I got to figure out my light. And let me try a different mode. I think we'll go with that. Nice and cool. So it has been just an amazing start to this year. And just thinking when I started this year in January, I said I was going to hit the ground running and haven't stopped. And I know I'm just going to keep that same kind of energy throughout the rest of the year just to get to December. So I understand there would be bumps, there would be challenges that will come, hiccups, but I'm still yet forging through. And I'm just excited. This year seems so exciting to me. It just feels like there's going to be a whole bunch of amazing and extraordinary things coming. And I just believe that. And I'm just excited and I feel amazing about it. So no matter what you find yourself in or what the challenge is, know that you're not alone in it. Know that God is with you. And I know it can sound very cliche. It can sound like people say that all the time, but that's true. It's they say it, not that it has to be cliche, but that it's true and it's real. The Lord is not slack and he's not slow like people would sometimes believe him to be slow. And there's a time and season for everything. So on your path, understand there will be some people that do not understand what it is you're doing, have no idea, nor do they care, but they are not interested in what you're doing. But they are interested in being nosy enough to ask you, so what you got going on? So what is the next thing? And you're like, why do you want to know so bad what it is I'm doing or what I'm not doing? I'm just trying to figure that out. Like, you just have to wonder, like, you're asking me what you've never asked me before until you've been watching from the digital cyber bushes. You've been watching what I've been doing, and now you want to pop back up. Hey, so how are you doing? What's going on? Like, what's the 411? What's the hot tea on you? Like, you're not getting any hot tea. I'm gonna give you this cold water until you go away because I don't have time for those type of people. And you may have some of those people in your life. It is time to remove them. It is time to let them out of your sphere of influence. It is time to put them to bed, so to speak. It's time to say, okay, this was nice. And now it's time for this relationship to be over. Now, I would never say you have to be callosical, like, get the, you know what, out of here, get the stuff in. You don't have to do all that. But you do have to make it known that you are not going to be rocking with the same thing because they're on something totally different from you and you just don't have time for it, right? And that's one of those things that when people understand that you're not on the said craziness and foolishness of it all, they realize like, oh, she or he are on something different and you don't want no parts of the weird stuff. I don't want any parts of it. I just don't want any parts of the craziness that some people do and some people say. I'm like, you can keep that all the way over there. I don't want to be privy to any of that. So when you stay on your own path, you figure out the lane that the Lord has given you and you just run in it. You just stand in it and you just go. You don't worry about who sees you, who doesn't see you. You don't worry about that. You just know the Lord gave you something to do and you are going to do it with your whole heart, mind, and soul. So I'm busy with my little needle, threading this is my little bookmarks because I got to get them ready for, of course, the book signing that some of you are coming to. I know you're coming. So I'm getting that ready for you guys. So when you come, you're like, hey, you weren't prepared for us. Yes, I was. Yes, I was indeed. So as I continue and find other people that are like-minded like myself, it feels so good when you have people who are in support of you instead of people who are always telling you all these things that, well, I don't think you should do that. That doesn't seem like a good idea. If I were you, I wouldn't do X. Listen, that's why there's that statement. If I were you, but you're not. She talking to me? Yeah, you're not. So if I were me, I would do exactly what T Drake's gonna do. Why? Because that's what the Lord has put me on. And so I'm gonna walk out my life every day in intention and only expectation from the Lord. I expect that He's going to just have His will and have His way in my life. And I'm gonna be on that kind of time. I'm on, Lord, let your will be done. Not my will. So I just appreciate all the opportunities the Lord has afforded me at this time and this stage of the game. And it's a different time. It's a different time. And I thought a long time ago there was a song, and I thought I hadn't heard it for so long, and I was like, oh, I made that song up, and I didn't make it up. It was somebody else's song. It was Israel New Breed, their song. And sometimes when I hear songs like long time ago, you just start singing a song like, oh yeah, this is a great song. And then you come to find out it's already been put out because you heard it from somewhere a long, long time ago, but you just can't remember where. And that was one of the things that happened to me. I was like, oh yeah, this is a great song. I'm like, no, I must have heard it somewhere, not sure where, but I heard it. I was like, whatever. So I say that because every now and again, I have to recall some old songs to get me through. I have to recall some old things, and they help. And the reason I sing snippets because I don't sing full songs, because of course I don't want to get no copyright strikes anywhere. I don't want to do it. But snippets are good reminders, right? They're good reminders. So you trust and obey the Lord. You know it is His will. It's His will for your life. And that's the best way to move and not be distracted by other people. Don't let that happen, right? And you know that you could trust in Him for everything, every single solitary thing. You can trust Him. I am going to take a drink of water, and I got these little cute little what are these? Oh, straw toppers. This one is a star. It's from Star. So pardon me while I get a sip of my sparkling water. Mm. And I also have some lemons in here because I had some lemon water in here, so I just added it. I love my little lemon water. So I'm excited because I got some independent artists coming up. So I had to take a break to get some people on the schedule. So that's the only reason you guys haven't seen anybody else, because I have some new people that are coming and I have to get them on the schedule. So I'm gonna get them. You're gonna see them. And it's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be it's gonna be awesome. Bam, bam, bam. So I'm just super excited about all that stuff, and it's gonna be a good year. It's gonna be an amazing year, and I gotta get some of this stuff onto, of course, my podcast. This is the video version. I gotta get it on the audio version, which I will, because I will do that. So I was just steadily thinking about the people that have come in my life, and they didn't really want to know about me per se. Sorry about that. They just wanted to be nosy. Yeah. And I've told you guys many a time before that I have my own cyber watchers, cyber digital stalkers. I have my own. And when people are watching and acting like they're not, it's funny to me, because you don't like anything I'm saying, but yet there you are, just so watching and listening, so much so you're so intentional that you have to make sure and watch all this so I could say, no, thank you. I'm like, you could have just not said anything, but okay. Okay. So anyway, it's just been unique time, but I'm used to having people do that. I'm really used to having people do that a lot, because it's happened so often. You wouldn't like to hardly believe that it happens more often than not. And I'm like, it's okay. It's just, it is what it is. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're going to be that way, all right, I guess that's what it is. But for me, and hopefully for you, when the Lord puts you on something to do, I hope you don't get sidetracked and let people who are not doing anything you're doing tell you, well, I wouldn't do that. And I don't really think that's such a good idea. And I haven't seen it done, so probably not wise to do it. I'm like, wait a minute. Just because you haven't seen it done doesn't mean it shouldn't be done, doesn't mean it can't happen. Sorry, guys, I'm looking for my scissors, which I did have, and then I moved it. And then, hold on one second. I will still be with you guys. Just gonna turn my camera off, but I am still talking to you guys. So let me go get that scissors and find it, and I'll be right back with you guys. Those days, they are just right here. So yay! I am back, not too far away. I didn't have to go too far. So thank goodness for that. Hello, I am back. So I got my scissors. And the other day, as I was painting some things for my daughter's, making little palette boxes that they have at Walmart that you can paint, right? And I painted pink and purple. I think I told you guys this before. And one of the things I have is I have some stencils, but I didn't have any stencil brushes. So some of the things that I needed a stencil paintbrush for, I didn't have. So it came out okay, but it could have come out way better had I had these stencil brushes, right? So now I have these stencil brushes. I'm gonna do it again and make some more, but now I'm ready. Now I'm ready. I said, I only need that. So anyway, as I was sharing, right, the Lord, your path. Don't, I don't know why it's so easy for us to allow people to come into our lives and just wreak havoc on it just because they don't like something you're doing. And there they go. They don't believe you should be doing it. They think something's wrong with what you're doing. They have all kinds of opinions about things they're not even part of. Like, how do you have opinion on something and you don't even participate in doing what I do? I don't understand. Like, what? It would be better if you talked about this on your podcast. It'd be better if you talked about this. Like, no, it would be better to talk about those subjects were definitely anti-Lord. I am not talking about that. You could talk about it on your podcast. Oh, wait. Do you have one? Not really. Okay. Well, I guess you can't talk about it, but I'm not gonna bring your agenda over here, whatever that may be. So I'm like, no, you gotta be careful and to use discernment a lot because people have things that they want to put out, and sometimes they will use you to do it. Like, oh, you got a great platform. You got a lot of people that listen to you. How about I come over and share what I do? And I made the mistake one time of doing that. Not saying that what the gentleman shared was wrong. It's just that probably was better for a different platform. And I was just like, okay. I walked into that one. I said, I won't walk into that one again. But yeah, sometimes things happen and you just like, oh, well, okay. So I just wanted to share with you guys. I hope that if there has been someone in your life that every time you try to share what you're doing, they just rain all over it. They're not supportive. They don't believe you know what you're doing. They don't think you are able, capable, your brain's too slow, or whatever the thought process is that they think about you. Can I encourage you today and say you're nothing of those things that they say you are? You're not that. You are the child of the Most High King. And to remember that in your mind and safeguard that and hold on to that is something that's so beautiful. And you want to hold on to it. You don't want to be like, oh, well, I don't know. Yeah, no, And sometimes we need to get that in our mind and in our spirit of what the Lord says about us, not what other people say. Because people will say all kinds of things and myriad things against you. And it's really not a true statement. So we have to remember we're fearfully and wonderfully made, that the Lord knit us in the womb in the very beginning. We have to remember that. We have to remember that He planned for us to do good works. You got to remember that. It's not all about, oh, well, I guess this is just me just, I don't know, just doing this and I'm gonna crash out. Don't No, you're not gonna crash out. You're not gonna do any of those things. You're just gonna do what the Lord would set before you. And remember, just because people might come over and congratulate you on something that you're doing doesn't necessarily mean they really legitimately are happy for you. Sometimes you have to use discernment and know when people are really serious, like, oh, that's so wonderful. And are they being condescending when they're saying it? Like, you got to be able to make those judgment calls and those determinations. So you realize, okay, this person I don't need to get too close to because they have a kind of way about them. And that's okay. You're entitled to stay away from whoever you want, but just do your due diligence. And I'm just saying this because as mothers, as parents, as guardians, as siblings, as whatever it is, there are just these wicked people out here that just You're their target. They just have their eyes on you, right? Instead of their eyes on a different prize, their eyes and their whole sole focus is what you're doing, where you're going, who you talk to, all the things. And like, don't you want to talk about just me, how I'm doing, not other people? No, I want to talk about you. No, you're not really talking about me. You're trying to figure out and grab data and information. Why are you trying to grab data on me? What do you need that for? It's like you have to wonder, like, why are you asking about data? Like, what, why are you trying to get so much information? It's just like, strange to me sometimes when people overly ask very sensitive and personal questions. It's like, that's not my part of my path, and I don't want to do any of that. But yeah, I just want to give caution and also awareness that yeah, you might be doing something amazing, doing something really great for the community. Just remember, there are people that, regardless of the good things that you're doing, they're still going to dislike you. And it's for whatever reason. And sometimes it's petty. Sometimes it's very, very petty. And like, if someone's going to break up with a friendship for so many years over something petty, that's very sad. It's very sad to hear about. It is very sad to watch when somebody actually does that. Instead of sticking with their friend, they want to go find somebody else and just like, no, I think I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to do all those things. Like, wait, what? I thought we were cool. I thought we were friends. I thought you and I were close. Come to find out, they were never your friend and they were never close. They were just spying on what you're doing, trying to figure out how they can get close to you to try to get something out of you. And it's just like, why? Why are you doing that? So just be mindful as you continue on your journey with the Lord in whatever capacity that is that you serve. Serve it with a heart of, oh, I forgot to show you guys. It's a butterfly at the top. Serve with compassion and care, and don't let people take you off the path that the Lord has put you on. And He's placed you on a specific path for a specific reason. And sometimes when we are disobedient, we have consequences to play with the Lord. Just saying. Because there are people that need to hear the word, and sometimes like, well, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to do the wrong thing. Well, you gotta give them the gospel. You gotta share it. You have to. And sometimes you might not be afforded the opportunity, but when the opportunity presents itself, take it to the best of your ability. Take it, because you just don't want to have that blood on your hands at all anyway. So keep going. There's always trolls that will troll you wherever you're at. It doesn't really matter the platform. Troll is just troll to be acknowledged. And I personally, I don't like trolls. But if you have haters that are just looking at your stuff that you're putting out, and every time you put something out, they comment boo, or they comment no, or they comment whatever. Comment some comments like, why'd you even have to comment? You could have not commented, and we would have been good. We've been A-okay. But you felt the need to comment. Pray tell why. You didn't have to. You can just scroll on by. You just scroll on by. And I've sung it before, and I'll probably sing it again. I think Pastor Jay gets tired of me singing it. I don't know. Maybe not. That's just me speculating. He might not get tired of it. But I sing it often, so. Pause for my water break. So I'm going to sing it right now because it feels like it needs to be inserted here. As I'm thinking about people and what the Lord has for you, what the Lord has for you, He has for you. What He has for me, He has for me. And it doesn't matter who doesn't like that. The Lord's already set things in motion. And that's one thing you can't stop. You can't stop God. So it's like, oh, T Drake, I'm going to thwart everything that the Lord said. I'm going to stop your blessing. What? You can't stop anything. You might think you can. You might think you have that kind of power, but I'm going to give you a little secret. Come closer. Get real close. Get real close. You don't. You don't have that power. Just FYI, you have the power. Now, I've heard people tell me before, you're out of order, T Drake. You are out of order. God's not going to bless you because you're out of order, because I'm not doing something they want me to do for them. Yeah, I don't do that. Not interested in doing that. And I'm going to do me, which is actually doing what the Lord would have me to do. So I'm going to need that person, whoever that is, to stop trying to control the situation, because control is not a good thing, and get back to the business of doing what my Heavenly Father would want me to do. That's what it is. So I will sing my little snippet, my snippet that I would sing all the time. It's one of the snippets. And I remember I sang this snippet for someone, and she's like, "Don't, you should have done that." It made her cry and everything. Like, but it's a very, it might have been something that touched her, but those things happen. So I am gonna sing my snippet because I like singing the snippet. It's one of my favorite snippets, and it is. So here we go. What God has for you, it is for you. What God has for you, it is for you. What God has for me, it is for me. Yes, it is. What God has for me, it is for me. So anything that the Lord has for you, he just, that's yours. And nobody anywhere can take it. No devil in hell, no demon, no nobody, no human. It is yours, baby. That what God has blessed you with, that it's yours. The way that Lord has you going, that's your path. There's nobody that's going to disturb God's plan for your life. It's not going to be a thing. So when people say you're not going to get blessed, they're not God. They can't tell you that, right? So you need to trust and obey the Lord. And I'm singing my snippet of that too, because we're on snippet today. I'm feeling a kind of way of just throwing out snippets here and there. That's what we're doing. It's given tonight. I don't know. Maybe I had too much of that lemon water. It's doing something to me, but it's okay. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus than to trust and obey. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus than to trust and obey. So, trusting and obeying what He would have you to do, that's the only way. That's how you get blessed. It's not because you're trying to impress someone, you're not trying to do things for click likes and all of those things. Now, I'll take a click and a like. I'm not going to lie. I'll take a click and a like, but I'm not doing it for the click and the likes. I'm doing it for the Lord. Now, if you click it and you're liking, thank you. I appreciate you. Keep on liking, sharing, doing all the things, the commenting, the sharing, do it all. Do all the things. I appreciate all of it. But what it is I can't sit here and tell you guys that as I do what I do, that I take an inclination of people that don't like what I do. No, I just use it for my content to share that they're doing that kind of stuff. I've had people do it a lot, all the time, and I'm prepared for it. I'm prepared for it. I get trolls that say, "Oh, you need to talk about this more." I'm like, no, we're not doing that. We're not talking about said topic, because that topic definitely is talk about the Lord, and I'm not doing it. So yeah, we're not doing that. So every time every time you do something for the Lord, remember you're doing it for the glory of the Lord. You're not doing it for man's approval. You're doing it for the Lord. And you want him to be pleased with you. You want to honor him with everything you have. You want to honor him in your behavior, in your talk, in your walk, in anything that you do, any and everything that you do. You want to honor him. You want to show him that you're grateful and you're appreciative of the things that he has provided for you, spiritually and physically, both. But if you don't take time to thank him, where you sit, where you stand, where you lay, I find that you're not very gracious to the Lord, although he's been so gracious to you. Remember who you serve. Remember who you are. You are the child of the Most High God. You are a co-heir with Christ. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. You are someone that the Lord loves, and he chastens whom he loves. He chastises whom he loves. If he didn't love you, he would turn you over to a depraved, debased mind and say, you're gone away. But isn't the Lord so gracious and so merciful that throughout everything, all the wrongs, the Lord still says, I got you. The Lord still says, I will move things for you. I am working things out. I know that I have something for you. I got you. I will take care. I will take care of whatever vengeance you're trying to get. I will repay. Thus saith the Lord. So stay on your path. Don't allow people to get you sidetracked, because there are a ton of people that their job is to sidetrack you into strange comments, into strange conversations, and they're trying to bait you and drag you and draw you in. Don't let them. Don't let them draw you in. You stand your ground, stand up for Jesus Christ and the things and the goodness of the Lord and the things that he says that is right in the word. You stand on those things and don't be shaken, not for 1 second. Don't let it happen. Don't let it happen. So as I'm sharing, I was just thinking about all these different people that at one time or another just had to say something, had a comment, didn't like a whole bunch of things, like, don't really care. I don't, because I've been doing this for a long time. Some people are brand new to me, but I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. And this has been a thing I've been rocking for a long time. And I'm so glad to be actually getting YouTube to catch up with the podcast. The podcast has been rolling and doing well. So it's just a time of being thankful and grateful. And I'm excited for what the Lord's going to do more things in my life. It's like, wow, this is just, it's amazing. And I have some other things to share with you guys, but I'll share it later. As things progress, I'm going to let you guys know. You guys are going to be the first to know. My fans, my followers, my peeps, you guys are going to be the first to know. So thank you for all of those of you on the YouTube side watching. I thank you so much for becoming a subscriber of mine. I appreciate that. And I hope the little bell that you have, that you selected it so that you know when new things I post, so you can get it, be the first to know, in the know. I hope you will do that. For all of you that have already subscribed and you've been rocking with me, can I just say I am so thankful and grateful from the bottom of my heart. And some of people have sent monies and things of that nature. Can I just say thank you? Thank you so much. And I remember there was a gentleman, and he says, I see you do an independent artist. And he's like, I'm going to send you some money. I'm like, for what? He's like, to help you. I'm like, why? He's like, why are you asking that? Just receive it. Sometimes for me, that was a thing where I couldn't just receive anything, not money, not a compliment, not anything, because inside I hadn't dealt with my stuff. So everything looked like, okay, what do you want? Why are you trying to be nice to me? What's your angle? What's your deal? What's your agenda? What do you really want? Hmm? And sometimes that would stifle relationships that could have been great and amazing friendships. Sometimes it stifle those. Sometimes they just flat out end because of me wanting to know what are you really on? But they're coming from a genuine place and they really just wanted to love on me. And some people I didn't give the opportunity to. But I was thankful and grateful now. So I'm just wanting to encourage before I get out of here, wrap this up. I just want to encourage you, stay on the path that the Lord is providing to you. Whatever it looks like, it doesn't make a difference because we are to be walking by faith, not by what we see by our natural eyes. We're to walk by faith, tapped into the Spirit, understanding that there's discernment along with knowledge to go and do some things for the body of Christ that will get us all to the kingdom. So I hope that you have been encouraged by this. I hope this has been some way, shape, or form inspirational, uplifting to your lovely, beautiful spirit. I hope so. And without further ado, a big kiss from me to you. Remember, I love you with the love of the Lord Jesus Christ. And remember, I always want you to be blessed, motivated, and always inspired by what the Lord lays on your heart. Remember that. So with that, I'm going to say bye now, and you will see me again with another episode of God's gift through his word. Don't forget to vote April 7th. I'll be letting you guys know, but don't forget to also come out April 6th for the book signing. And where, you ask C. Drake, before you go, where is it at? Well, it's going to be at the Barnes & Noble in Peoria, Arizona. So if you're available and free from 10 to 2 on a Sunday, I know that might be tricky because a lot of people are at church, but afterwards, if you're able to be close and you're in the area, I would love to meet you. I would love to say hi. I'd love to take some little snip snaps. We could take some pics, right? So anyway, you guys have a very, very blessed night, morning, afternoon, whenever you get a chance to watch this. Bye, you guys. Take care.
God's gift.